Hello friends, I am Pradeep Yadav. Today I will discuss RS-232. RS means recommended standard. So in this lecture I will cover what is serial communication and what is basically difference between serial communication and parallel communication, introduction of RS-232, working of RS-232 and specification, handshaking and some application which is basically based on RS-232. So, let us start the lecture. So, as you know, the process of sending data sequentially over a computer bus is called a serial communication. When we are going to discuss what is basically definition of serial communication. So, serial communication is a process to send data in a sequence over a single line. Okay, and suppose if you want to transmit 8-bit data through that line, so you have to transmit your data bit by bit. Means first bit will be received, then you have to send second, then third, then fourth. Means you have to send your data in a sequence to the receiver, and that will be happen through one single line. So here in this picture you can see this is transmitter and this is receiver, and this is the example of serial communication because through the single line, this is line, bit by bit transmission is happening. So this is example of serial communication. When we are talking about parallel communication, so in case of parallel communication you can transmit 8-bit data, 16-bit data, 32-bit data at a time by using several data lines. Using several data lines means suppose you have to transmit 4-bit data, then you require 4 data lines. If you want to transmit 8-bit data, then you require 8 data lines. Then you know what happen when we are talking about parallel communication and we are dealing to transmitting data 16 bits means we require 16 lines. So sometimes it makes your system very bulkier and also increases the cost, because suppose if you want to transmit data over 50 meter, then you need wire of 50 meters. So sometimes it's increase the cost. To avoid this cost and not make your system bulkier, serial communication come into line. And serial communication is slower than the parallel communication because in parallel communication you can transmit maximum data at a time, but in serial communication you have to transmit bit by bit. That's why serial communication take more time compared to parallel communication. But serial communication you can use for long data transmission due to lower cost and also practical reason, because sometimes it is not possible to transmit data in a practical manner. Also, just I want to give you an example. Suppose you have a file in your laptop, you want to transmit that file from laptop to the mobile, then when you are going to send by using data cable, when you are going to send that data, your data will be not transmitted at a time, that will transmit one by one. Suppose there are 5 movies and you are transmitting, so firstly your first movie will be transferred, then second movie will be transferred, then third movie will be transferred. So basically this is example of serial communication. Also just this is example of serial communication. You can consider many example. Okay, and here you can see the diagram of parallel communication. Suppose this is a transmitter part and this is receiver part, and you want to transmit 8-bit data. So we required 8 data lines, and each data lines transmitting 1-bit data. So this is going to make your system very heavy and also bulkier, and also it will increase the cost of the system. So that's why we prefer to use serial communication. Also, by taking this example, you can easily understand when we are talking about serial communication. So you can take example of machine gun where bullet reach one by one to the target. In parallel communication, you can take using a shotgun, where number of bullets reach at the same time. So, these are some very basic practical example. By this example, you can easily understand how serial communication and parallel communication works. Now, some properties of serial communication. First property is baud rate. So, generally baud rate is used to measure the speed of transmission, means how many bits transmitting in 1 second. Suppose baud rate is 200, means 200 bits are transmitting within a second. Now, what we have to discuss in this lecture, that is RS-232 bit. RS means recommended standard. So, here RS-232 is a standard protocol used for serial communication. It is used for connecting computer and its peripheral device to allow serial data exchange between them. So, just I have taken I have already discussed in previous slide. So, suppose if you want to transmit some data from your computer to your mobile phone, definitely then you need a data cable or Bluetooth. So, when you are going to use data cable, basically that data cable is example of RS-232. Basically, in current time we are not using such facility, because in initial days we were used to use this RS-232. Now, this is replaced by advanced USB, you can say Bluetooth, data cable. Basically, these are some alternative of that RS-232. So, whenever you are going to connect your data cable between your mobile phone and computer, a connection will be stabilized. After stabilizing connection, you can transmit your data from mobile to laptop or from laptop to mobile, because this is two-way communication. So, this is a standard protocol used for the serial communication. It is used for connecting computer, means you can say RS-232 bit is just like a connector which is going to connect your computer with peripheral devices. And the RS-232 used for connecting data transmission equipment and data communication equipment, means okay. So, by this picture you can easily understand this is a transmission, that is called DTE, and this is DCE, that is called receiver. Here you can also see the pictorial diagram of that. This is data communication equipment and this is data terminal equipment. Okay, so this is now just discuss working of RS-232, how it's work. So, let me draw a diagram to make you understand. Hope you can easily understand by this diagram. This is DT, because we have two part, and this is transmitter, you can say, and this is receiver, that is DCE. Okay, DC. Okay. Now, suppose you have to transmit data from here to here. Okay, and already RS-232 works on the two-way communication, that exchange data to each other, means you can transmit data from here to here or from here to here. Okay, so firstly condition I am discussing. Suppose you have to transfer the data from here to here, then what happen? Okay, there is a pin, that is RTS. RTS will generate a signal, that is called request to send, okay, to DC, and the CTS of DC will clear the path. Then DC will receive all the data, means transmitter will transmit the data and DC will receive the data. Means firstly what happen, DT will generate a signal, that is called request to send. CTS of DC will do clear the path. When that clears the path, receiver can receive the data. Okay, this is process. Now, second process, suppose if you want to transmit data from here to here, then what happen? In that case, RTS of DCE RTS of DC will generate a signal, and CTS of DT will clear the path. When path will be clear, DC transmit the data and DT will receive the data. Means this is two-way communication. You can transmit data from here to here, as well as you can transmit the data from here to here, and we have 2 pin which DT have, and also that pin DC have, that is RTS and CTS. RTS used for request to send, and this is used for clear the path in same case. Means at a time when you are going to transmit data from here to here, then firstly RTS of DT will work, then CTS of DC will work. Then when you are going to transmit data from here to here, then RTS of this will work and CTS of DT will work, and they are going to stabilize a connection and they are going to transmit the data. So, this is basic definition, and by reading also you can understand how these are working. Okay. So, we have some pin here, you can see these are TXD represent transmitter, RXD represent receiver, RTS request to send and CTS clear to send, and ground. Okay. So, in this picture, previous picture, here you can see this is a transmitter and this is receiver. Okay. Now, connector. Basically, what I have discussed, RS-232 boot is basically a connector which going to stabilize a connection between your computer and peripheral device. By using that, you can communicate your data. So, there are two type of connector, that is DB25 and DB9. So, in DB25 there are 25 pin available which are used for many of the application, but some of the application did not use whole 25 pins. So, the 9 pin connector is made for convenience of the devices and equipment. There are two types of connector, one is male connector and second is female connector. So, here you can see the pictorial diagram of male connector. Okay. So, you can see, and also just I want to tell something about that. When we are talking about RS-32, actually I have already explained that now that this has been replaced by some socket. Suppose if you want to transmit, if you want to run internet on a system, by using LAN cable also you can do. So, what you do, you have to put that wire in your slot. So, basically that slot is an example of connector, or you can say RS-32 2 bits. And also suppose if you want to transfer data from pen drive to your computer, in that case you can also transfer the data from the pen drive to computer and also from computer to pen drive. So, basically this is example of two-way communication, and where you are going to put up your pen drive, there is a slot for applying pen drive, means that slot is example of RS-32 bits. That is a basically example of connector, and by using that you can connect your peripheral device to CPU. In that case, your pen drive is example of peripheral device and CPU is a microprocessor, and that slot is going to work as a RS-232 bits, because that suppose two-way communication, means you can transfer data from system to pen drive as well from pen drive to system. So, this is example of male connector. Here you can see the female connector, and these are some pin. By using this table you can understand how these pin are going to work. So, first pin is CD, means carrier detect incoming signal for DC, means okay. RD means receive data, receive incoming from the DT, TD means transmit data, send outgoing to data, because we are talking about DC. So, by using this pin you can easily understand this. Basically we are talking about receiver, and you can say okay. DTR data terminal ready, ground means signal ground, DCR data set ready, RTS means request to send, CTS means clear to send, means just clear the path and now clear to send, RI means ring indicator incoming signal from the DC. So, these are some working of these pins. Now, we are talking about handshaking. What is basically handshaking? you know what happened, before transmitting data, firstly you have to stabilize a connection. Okay, just I am taking example. I think sometime also you have noticed, when you are going to transmit data from your mobile phone to your system or your laptop or your computer system, firstly you have to select, you know, there is a setting, you have to select as transfer file and video, something like that. When you are going to click on that, so basically that is going to stabilize a connection. And also you can take example pen drive. Sometime when you put your pen drive in any system, you got a pop-up message and also indicate a sign of pen drive. So basically that is process of stabilizing a connection between pen drive and a system. So basically that is handshaking. What is important of handshaking? Handshaking actually stabilize connection before transmitting the actual data. How can a transmitter transmit and receiver receive data successfully? So the handshaking defines. Okay, so handshaking is a process which is used to transfer the signal from DTE to DCE to make the connection before the actual transfer of data. So, and the messaging between transmitter and receiver can be done by handshaking. So, what I have discussed, when you are going to put up pen drive in system, you have seen some message, we are talking about that message, and that message is going to tell us, yes, your connection is stabilized and you can transfer the data. When your connection is stabilized, you start transmitting your data, means just copying data from pen drive to system or system to pen drive. So, these are example. Okay, so there are three type of handshaking. One is no handshaking, hardware handshaking and software handshaking. So, in no handshaking means, you know, what is perfect communication when we are when we talk about perfect communication. So, when your data is fully transmitted over receiver, that is called perfect transmission. Suppose I have transmitted 5-bit data and receiver received 5-bit data, means that is perfect communication, you can say, or perfect transmission and receiver. Suppose I have transmitted 8-bit data, receiver only receives 6-bit data, means that is not perfect communication. So, this is example of also no handshaking. In what happened? In case of no handshaking, some data lost. Why? Because due to busy of register buffer, you can say. So, just let me explain. If there is no handshaking, then DC reads the already received data, while DTE transmit the next data. All received data is stored in a memory location known as receiver buffer. This buffer can only store 1 bit. Receiver must read memory before the next bit arrive. This buffer can only 1 bit. Okay, that is main point, only 1 bit. If the receiver is not able to read the stored bit in the buffer and next bit arrive, then the stored bit will be lost. So, that is problem in no handshaking, because at a time receiver have to read this data. If receiver read the data, your buffer is empty, so transmitter can send the data. But what happen in some case, suppose receiver has not received has not read the data, data is already available in register buffer, receiver buffer, and transmitter send the data, then what happen? In that case, your received data will be lost. So, that is not example of perfect communication. So, here by this picture you can easily understand, transmitter transmitted a data, here this is read and received, there is no problem. In second case no problem, third case no problem. But in this case what happened, till now receiver had not read the data and transmitter transmitted the data. Then what happened? In this case this data will be lost. Suppose in case of next data and it transmitted, there is no problem. Again in next data, suppose data in register buffer and transmitter again this send the data. In that case what happen? This data will be already lost, means this is not example of perfect communication, because here we are losing the data. So, that is why we have two concepts, one is hardware handshaking and software handshaking, and these are example of perfect communication, you can say, because in this we are not going to losing our data. So, it uses specific serial ports RTS and CTS to control data flow. In this process, transmitter asks the receiver that is ready to receive data, then receiver check the buffer that is empty or not. If it is empty, then it will give signal to transmitter, yes, I am ready to receive data, you can send the data. So, in this case data will be not lost, because you are because transmitter and receiver going to transmit data by understanding. If receiver is empty, then receiver can receive the data and then transmitter will transmit. If receiver is full, in that case transmitter is not going to transmit data. So, in this process we can avoid losing the data. So, the receiver gives this signal to transmitter not to send any data while already received data cannot be read. So, its working process is same as above described in the handshaking. So, here software, in the software there are two forms, one is axon, one is X off. X is transmitter, axon means it is a part in which it resumes the data transmission, X off it is part with pauses the data transmission. So, it is used to control the data flow and prevent loss during the transmission, because if X is on means data transmission can occur, if X off means data will not transmitted, transmitter will have to be in a pause state. Whenever receiver will generate a signal, yes I am free, you can transmit, then axon will X will be on and transmit the data. Now, talking about some applications. So, I have already discussed. Now, we are not currently using our RS-232, because this is replaced by advanced USB, some socket, some data cable you can say, but it is still used by some microcontroller boards, and there are some also many devices where we use to RS-232 to stabilize a connection. So, all this in this video. And if you have any question regarding this topic, definitely you can put a comment in a comment box. I am going to tell you answer. Okay, so thank you for watching this. Thank you.